You thought tic-tac-toe was lame until today. It's not lame. It's awesome. This episode of Scam School brought to you by the .tv domain name and Squarespace. Welcome to the show that'll teach you to keep your wallet full and your liver begging for mercy. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the streets. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and today I give up one of my all-time favorites. This one blew me away the first time I saw it. It comes from the legendary Martin Gardner, and it's a simple game of tic-tac-toe. All right, we're gonna play a little game. Let's play some tic-tac-toe. We're not playing for money or nothing. So you guys, it could be 2 against 1. You guys can work against me, but the only advantage I ask for is I get to be X. There you go. Where do you guys want to go? Probably not a surprise that we tied. But the funny part is, and what's great about this is you sit down and you play an idle game, but it doesn't really get interesting until you notice that before the game even began. I mean, you guys had a totally free choice of where to go the whole game long. But before the game began, I had a feeling that it would end up exactly like that.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good, he says bemusedly. Unfortunately, this is one of those moments where it's so WTF, like nobody explodes at that moment because they're genuinely fooled as to how it's done. But here's the important question. Do you want to find out how to pull that off on your friends?
Yeah, I could use that to my advantage.
For the low price of only 1 free beer for little old Brian.
Does it have to be like a good beer, or can it be a really crappy beer?
You know what? You could probably pee in a cup and tell me it's beer, and I'll still teach you the freaking trick.
I would rather buy your real beer.
Oh, thank you. That's much better.
I would rather
All
buy
right,
your
so
real beer.
for 1 real beer, I'll be happy to show you. But first, we have to thank our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
All right, let's talk about online video for a moment and how you can stand out from the crowd. Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you create and share video anywhere online? Then you need your own .tv domain name. It's obvious these days, the web is filling up with more and more video content, and you've got to stand out from the crowd. A .tv domain name tells users that you're serious about creating and sharing great video content on the web. If your site has a play button, you should have a .tv. It was the first thing I registered. The moment I had the idea for Scam School, I registered scamschool.tv because I wanted to look like I knew what I was doing. And no matter what the subject, a .tv domain name is where video content should live. Make a statement about your video and your site with a .tv domain. Nick, Carissa, either of you guys ever read Scientific American?
I did.
Did you really?
Yes.
For years, there was a mathematician and a genius master of magic named Martin Gardner who would write all these brilliant mind puzzles, and we featured several of his tricks on Scam School. And in fact, one of the best moments of my life was I got to meet him at the age of like 95, 96, just last year. A couple weeks ago, he passed away, and we wanted to do a little tribute to Martin Gardner. This is a trick that he wrote up, and a friend of mine showed it, and it fooled the pants off of me. And for years, it's been one of my go-to effects whenever I just, out of nowhere, want to blow people away using nothing but a few pieces of paper. The best part is, the game really is totally fair. You just play a legitimate game of tic-tac-toe. The only thing you have to remember is one rule. Okay, now you guys are playing to win, so you're gonna make sensible moves. The rule is, anytime that they play in a corner, you play in the square clockwise to it. If they play right here, you go in the middle. If they play right here, you go in the side. If they play right here, you go in the middle. If they play here, you go in that middle. Make sense? If they play in the center spots, then you play in the spot counterclockwise to it. So in other words, if they're right here, you go into this corner. If they're right here, you go in this, and here it goes right there. Make sense? If you follow those rules and you go first, the result will always match this prediction. So all you have to do is memorize this configuration. And the way I memorized it was by, I call it in my head, the name of the trick. Now, I don't ever call this in public because it gives away the method. But in my mind, the name of the tricks is OXO, OX, ZOX. if I remember OXO, OX, ZOX, I can always write this configuration. For example, let's play the game with these rules. So you go, I put down the X, so you go anywhere you want. All right, so you went the side, so that means I go counterclockwise, which means this spot right there. All right, so you did upper right-hand corner, that's a corner, so that means I go clockwise. So you took the corner, so again, I go clockwise. There you go. And just like that, they exactly match the OXO, OX, ZOX. There are situations when the prediction won't exactly line up with what you drew in advance. Now, in this case, almost every game we've done, they've matched up and I haven't had to change the orientation. If you need to, it is possible. For example, let's try this. Let's say, just for example, for sake of discussion, let's say this was the first place. You win. Now, if you look already, this doesn't match. The O's here and the X's here. But we play by the rules and do the exact same thing. So if it's in the corner, it goes clockwise. And then, and so this is counterclockwise.
I messed up that time.
But, no, I mean, let's play it out. Let's see what happens. Counterclockwise. There we go. Now in this case, even though we both play by goofy rules, if you turn the prediction, it still exactly matches. So there's no way to play the game where it doesn't actually match up. What you need to do though is before you turn over your prediction, you need to make sure that you see how it's set up and that it matches the same orientation to get the OXO, OX, ZOX there. Make sense? Now here's your final exam. Remember, you only need to remember the two rules, clockwise and counterclockwise. I'm gonna have you guys do the trick for each other after we thank our sponsors. Sound good?
Yay, sponsor.
There you go.
All right, let's talk about Squarespace. Now, by now, you have to have noticed that the entire freaking internet is moving all at once over to Squarespace. Everybody I know is doing it. And if you're wondering why, it's simple. Squarespace has the tools to make you look like a web rock star, even if you have no coding experience whatsoever. Now, personally, what I love about Squarespace is that it caters to somebody like me who knows just enough HTML to be dangerous. I insist on making my own updates and managing my own website, but I'm on the road half the time, and I don't have the time to do everything right. That's what's great about Squarespace. They make it so easy that I can make updates and changes from any computer, anywhere, even my iPhone, and the Squarespace system still makes it look like I'm paying some highfalutin Hollywood web developer. Web developers don't come from Hollywood. Look, the point is you'll understand once you try it. Head on over to squarespace.com and sign up for your free trial. They won't even ask for a credit card. You could be up in seconds. And when you do sign up, absolutely make sure to use our promo code SCAMSCHOOL. It'll get you 10% off the lifetime of your order, but most importantly, keep us in business.
Question, who's gonna be the performer and who gets to be the sucker?
I will perform.
Okay, so first thing the performer does is what? You have to make your prediction, right? All right, so what should your prediction be?
OXO, OX, ZOX.
There you go. So go ahead and draw that. And of course, you don't let her see, so you gotta...
Excuse me, madam, would you look the other way?
There we go. Well, hello. How are you doing, Carissa? What a lovely evening we're having today. I'm so glad that we got to spend this time together. I wonder what Nick's up to over there. He seems to be making some kind of prediction for some known reason. Oh, there we go. All right, so now what do we do?
So I will bet you one beer that I know that I can make what you write on here match what's written under here.
That's pretty good.
All it takes is a simple game of tic-tac-toe, and we're just gonna play. That's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna play. All I ask, I just want to start first in the set. That was a lovely time we had. However,
oh, he's got the gift. Very well done.
Guess I owe you a beer.
You passed your final exam, Carissa. That was wonderful. Nick, you were amazing. Very well done, guys. Very well done. First and foremost, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to mind reader Johnny Zavant. You can check him out at johnnyzavant.com. He's the guy who showed me this trick. Second of all, if you enjoyed this, check out all of Martin Gardner's work. He's a legend, a genius, and one of the most important contributors to the art in the last 8,000 years. Lastly, if you have a hard time remembering the OXO, OX, ZOX, you can always figure out the code by actually playing a game by yourself. If you follow those rules of doing clockwise on corners, counterclockwise on sides, you're gonna get the exact same results. Now, I wanna hear about your success stories and your failure stories, so hit us up on the boards at revision3.com/scamschool. If you wanna suggest your favorite bar scam, write me directly at brian@revision3.com. If you're doing the Twitter thing, you can follow the show at twitter.com/scamschool or find out when I am in your hometown doing spontaneous meetups by following twitter.com/schwood. Next week, we'll be meeting with a nature expert who will teach us how to stop a charging jaguar with an intense stare. So until then, I'm gonna look in the mirror and practice my stare.
Hey guys, how would you like it for me to come in person and perform for you live in your hometown? Believe it or not, it's easier than you think. Here's all you have to do. If you go to college, find out who's in charge of student activities on your campus and point them to my website at schwood.com, where they can check out the 5-minute demo reel and get an idea of what's in the show. These are the people whose job it is to bring events just like me to campus all year round. If you're in high school, find out who's in charge of proms or graduation night parties. I work a lot of those and I'd love to work yours. If you work in a corporation, find out who's in charge of holiday planning parties and point them to the website. Then have them contact me to book a date. And finally, if you're some crazy millionaire, just call me directly. I'm on my way. And of course, you may just get lucky. I may already be headed to your town, in which case sign up for email updates at schwood.com and follow my Twitter feed where I post my schedule regularly. Thanks, guys. Hope to see you in person real soon.